Jim Kunkle here. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel and set the notification bell to all so that you won't miss any of my new content. I'm Jim Kunkle, and welcome to another Jim Kunkle Interviews. Today, my guest will be Stephanie Chizik, who's the editor-in-chief at CoatingsPro Magazine. I hope you enjoy this interview. Stephanie, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, before we would start our conversation, could you go through and talk a little bit about CoatingsPro Magazine, and then also, too, if you could cover your role with the magazine?
You got it. So CoatingsPro is a bi-monthly publication that we put out for contractors. So it's about contractors, and that is the most intended audience for the information that we put in there. It comes out 6 times a year, and then on the off months, we also have supplements that are specific to portions of the industry. So surface prep, steel, concrete, roofing, and those actually are the 3 substrates that we mostly cover. 50% industrial and 50% commercial. So there's kind of an overarching plan behind every issue that we put out, that we want to make sure that we have all of those types of items balanced. So I started with CoatingsPro about 7 years ago. It's been a journey, a really exciting kind of time for me. So I don't have a background in construction or coatings. That's usually the first question that I get, but I do have a background in writing, and we have a really great team that we've assembled here that can help to make sure that we're putting out the information that's best for our contractors. So a little bit of my background.
Well, I really appreciate you covering the content focus of CoatingsPro Magazine and your background. You know, the magazine is a leading resource publication to the industrial and commercial protective coatings markets. Let me ask you this: which demographics in the protective coatings industry does CoatingsPro, have more circulation with?
So we have about 30,000 readers of CoatingsPro, and usually anywhere from 75 to 80% of those readers are contractors. The rest of it is made up of anyone from an engineer to a specifier, manufacturers, or asset owners as well. That's usually the main 4 other areas.
And related to CoatingsPro, what is the editorial focus of the magazine? What content can readers typically find in CoatingsPro on a monthly basis?
Yeah, each issue, the regular issues, I would say, have a variety of feature stories. And this is kind of where we try to put that balance I was talking about earlier into place. So each story will cover a project from the contractor's point of view. We really want the readers to feel like they're on the job site with the contractor who's doing the work. So we go through each step, how do you get to the job site? How do you get the job? What are the challenges that you have to overcome? What's the surface prep look like? The safety considerations, whether that's PPE or access or those types of things. And then, of course, it's CoatingsPro, right? So we want to talk about what coatings they apply, how they apply them, how thick, those kinds of considerations. So I'd say about half the book is feature stories. And then the other half are what we call departments. So those are subject matter experts who we have write for us on a variety of topics, whether it's, safety improvements or standards that are coming out, how to increase your bottom line with maybe new marketing ideas or business tips, anything that's going on in the field that they might need to know about. So the goal of CoatingsPro really is to help increase the bottom line of the contractor. So however we can do that, like I said, whether it's through those tips or whether it's through the feature stories where they can really kind of glean some of those nuggets of, oh, hey, it worked for this guy, let me try it in this way. And then conversely, we always have a feature article at the end called The Never Again, which is a failure. And people always say that's their favorite article to read, right? Because you want to learn how to do something right based on how someone else did it wrong, not based on how you did it wrong. So, kind of a good variety, short, long articles, different topics. It seems like a good mix for everyone.
Yeah, it sounds really fun. In addition to the magazine, Coatings Pro provides a comprehensive multimedia platform to your subscribers. Can you cover what additional content is available to subscribers?
Yes, you're right. So what we try to do is give content to people in the way that they want it. So not everyone wants to read print, but some people do. So we offer it also digitally. We also web-only articles. We also have webcasts, white papers. We're doing podcasts now this year too. So we've been wanting to do podcasts for a while and just felt like it was a huge need right now with everything that's going on with the pandemic. So, we're all sort of needing to get that information in a much quicker way. And podcasts felt like the right way to do that. So we've kicked that off in 2020 as well.
Coatings Pro Magazine is one of NACE International's main publications. How does the magazine work in conjunction with Material Performance and Corrosion Journal?
So we work closely as a team, I would say. The sister publications that you're talking about, I kind of see it as like I don't know if it's a tier or if it's kind of maybe a spectrum. And we have certainly, there's there are three primary colors, and then we also overlap in those areas as well. So Coatings Pro is for the end user. And then if you take it one step before that, there you've got the engineers on the job or maybe the inspectors. So they're probably what's mostly focused on in materials performance. And then if you take it one step even before that, so how are you putting together the coatings, or what is the material that needs to go into something, maybe not even coating related, but with corrosion, and that would be more of the scientific journal. So for corrosion journal, so it's kind of that. There's certainly overlapping between, not necessarily Coatings Pro and Corrosion Journal, but there is with Coatings Pro Materials Performance, and then with Materials Performance and Corrosion Journal.
Well, it sounds like a very good relationship between the magazines.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we try to meet on a regular basis and make sure that we're covering all aspects of the industry. So, we want to make sure that we're putting out relevant information to our readers. So for me, that's what does the contractor need. For Gretchen Jacobson and her team at Materials Performance, what do the engineers and the inspectors and all of those people need? So, it's a whole suite, so to speak. It's great, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Stephanie, what a great conversation we're having. In closing out this interview, is there anything that we didn't cover that you'd want to leave with the viewers?
I would say, this magazine really is about the contractor, about the people in the field. So we rely heavily on what's going on out in the real world, right? So what are people working on? What projects are they working on with coatings? If it's not coatings related, if it's more cathodic protection or something, that we could certainly, I could help connect with the materials performance people. But we want to know what's going on. We want to know what the contractor needs. We're here for you guys. So if there's anything that you need to see, need help with, if you've got a project you want to share, people always want to say, we don't have anything exciting. Well, successful is exciting. So, share with us your successful stories, and we'll worry about putting together the article itself. But we just really want to make sure that we're giving the reader exactly what it is that they need. The same goes not just for print, but also, like you were saying, we have all these other multimedia options. So if there's a podcast that you'd like to hear, or an expert or someone like that, if there's a product that you want to hear more about, we're all ears. We want to hear back. This really should be a two-way street. We just want to make sure that we're putting out what's best for the contractor. So that's my big spiel for today. And, and as always, we just want everyone to be happy and healthy. This is interesting times we're living in. So if we can help in any way, I'm just phone call, email away.
Well, for the viewers, I will put links to Coatings Pro Magazine and also general inquiry contacts as well. And I'll also put your professional profile on LinkedIn in case people professionally want to connect with you. Stephanie, I really appreciate the opportunity to have a conversation with you today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great. And hopefully your subscribers will have some benefit from at least looking out at CoatingsPro and seeing if there's anything that they can use there.
That sounds great. Hey, have a great day.
Thanks, Jim.